System status, okay. Everything seems fine. Oh my god, everything seems fine. Oh my god, check again. Oh no, 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 oh no. Why you do this? Understand yourself. Your brain is not waiting for problems. Your brain is looking for them. Not because something is wrong. Because nothing is wrong, and apparently that feels suspicious. You wake up, nobody is upset, no disasters, no emergencies, no incoming meteor, everything is quiet, and somehow your brain opens Google and types, something feels off. Then it spends the next 3 hours trying to find evidence. Wait, because by the end of this video you'll understand why your brain keeps searching for problems that don't exist. And why trying to stop it often becomes another problem. You know that feeling. Someone takes slightly longer than usual to reply. Not even a crazy amount. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours, maybe they're literally driving. But your brain? Your brain already launched an investigation. Did I say something weird? Are they mad? Should I have used a different emoji? Was the thumbs up too aggressive? Now you're rereading messages from 3 days ago like you're analyzing ancient scrolls. Meanwhile, the other person is buying yogurt. The funniest part? Nothing happened. Reality remained completely normal, but your brain somehow converted silence into a full documentary series. Here's the weird part. Most people think they're reacting to problems. But a lot of the time, they're reacting to uncertainty. Those are not the same thing. A problem says, something is wrong. Uncertainty says, I don't know. And for some reason, your brain hears, I don't know, and immediately responds, let's find something wrong. Because uncertainty feels unfinished, like an open browser tab. And your brain hates open tabs. Meanwhile, your actual browser has 47 of them. But emotionally, that's where we draw the line. This is how fast it happens. You receive an email. It says, can we talk tomorrow? That's it. Nothing else. No context. No explanation. No clues. Just 4 innocent words. And suddenly your brain starts producing content. Maybe you're getting fired. Maybe you accidentally offended someone. Maybe you forgot something important. Maybe you're about to become the main character in a disaster movie. The conversation isn't until tomorrow. But emotionally, you've already attended the meeting. Survived the meeting, recovered from the meeting, and written a memoir about the meeting. The reason this happens is actually kind of ridiculous. Your brain isn't addicted to problems. It's addicted to certainty. Problems feel certain. Problems feel concrete. Problems feel solvable. Uncertainty feels like standing in fog. Your brain would rather discover a fake tiger than sit in a mysterious bush wondering if there's a tiger. So when certainty disappears, your brain starts searching. Not because it found danger. Because it wants an answer. Any answer, even a terrible one. The problem is that your brain has absolutely no chill. Once the search starts, everything becomes evidence. Weird facial expression? Evidence. Different texting style? Evidence. Short email? Evidence. One random body sensation? Evidence. Now you're on page 7 of WebMD. You started with a headache. 20 minutes later, you're searching symptoms you didn't even have before you opened Google. Now your brain is like, wait, do I feel dizzy? Was my left eyebrow always like this? Why am I suddenly aware of my knees? And every new search result feels important because your nervous system is already involved. The anxiety makes the search feel real, which makes the search continue, which makes the anxiety stronger. Beautiful system, terrible experience. The pattern always looks different, but somehow it's always the same. Life gets quiet, your brain gets uncomfortable. The search begins. Maybe it's relationships, maybe it's work, maybe it's your future, maybe it's that embarrassing thing you said in 2018. The one nobody remembers, except your brain. Your brain keeps that memory in a fireproof vault. The moment peace appears, your brain asks, cool, what are we worried about next? And this creates a strange internal argument. One part of you says, everything is fine. The other part says, exactly. Because that's the problem. Everything being fine feels suspicious. You want to relax, but another part of your brain believes relaxation means you're missing something. So you sit on the couch. Nothing is happening, and somehow you're mentally preparing for 17 different futures, including 3 that violate the laws of physics. This is the loop. Nothing happens. Uncertainty appears. Brain starts searching. Brain finds a possible problem. Worry feels productive. Preparation feels responsible. Stress makes everything feel real. Brain says, see, good thing we searched. And then the cycle restarts. The search becomes proof that the search was necessary. Which is exactly why people get stuck. Because the loop feels intelligent, when really it's just repetitive. The real reason this feels so convincing is because searching feels like action. Doing something feels safer than doing nothing, even when the thing you're doing isn't helping. Searching creates movement. Movement creates relief, at least temporarily. Your brain says, we're working on it. But what exactly are we working on? Great question. Nobody knows. The investigation has become the entire job. And sometimes this becomes part of how people see themselves. They start believing, I'm just an overthinker. I'm just anxious. I'm just someone who worries. But that's not actually what's happening. Most of the time you're not attached to worrying. You're attached to feeling prepared. You're trying to prevent pain. Avoid mistakes. Stay ahead. Protect yourself. The problem is that your brain starts confusing preparation with endless searching. And those are not the same thing. Then comes the funniest realization in the entire process. People hear all this and think, okay, I need to stop searching for problems. And immediately the brain responds, excellent. Let's search for why we're searching for problems. How often am I searching? Am I searching too much? What if this becomes a bigger problem? How do I know if I'm doing it right? Congratulations. The search engine has started searching itself. Your brain turned the solution into another investigation. The shift is surprisingly small. Not stopping the search, not fighting the thoughts, not forcing calm, just noticing, oh, my brain is searching again. That's it. Because the moment you notice the search, you're no longer completely inside it. You're observing it. Instead of becoming every search result, you become the person looking at the screen. And that creates space, a tiny space, but sometimes that's all you need. Try asking one question. What problem am I actually solving right now? Not what problem might exist. Not what problem could exist. Not what problem might arrive next Tuesday at 4:17 p.m. What problem are you solving right now? Many times the answer is, none. You're not solving anything. You're searching. And weirdly, that realization can feel incredibly relieving. Because now the search loses some of its authority. The goal isn't to stop your brain from scanning. That's literally what brains do. Your brain evolved to detect danger. The problem is that modern brains don't just detect danger. They generate search queries for it. The solution isn't, never worry. The solution is, maybe I don't need to believe every result. Not every thought is evidence. Not every possibility is a prediction. Not every search result deserves a full emotional subscription. Sometimes your brain is simply doing what brains do. Searching, nothing more. So if your brain constantly searches for problems, you're not broken. You're not failing. You're not uniquely chaotic. You're human. Your brain wants certainty. And when certainty disappears, it starts typing. The beautiful part is that awareness changes everything. Because once you recognize the search, you don't have to automatically follow every result. You can smile, shake your head, and say, there it goes again. The search engine is still running. But now you're not trapped inside it. So tell me, what's the smallest, most ridiculous thing your brain has ever turned into a full-blown problem?